all this stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I turn around, and T-Mac, the guy I worked with, has a pistol in his hand.
That's a boner killer.
Oh, I mean, at 100%, man. I mean, I'm going into fight or flight mode. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I mean, and he's screaming like, you poisoned me. What'd you give me? I'm like, calm down. You know, I mean, and I'm going back up like, this is the very first time he's ever tried acid. You know, you're responsible for this. Like, this is your fault.
Right. This is all running through your head.
Yeah, I mean, like,
while you got a gun,
like,
you're butt-ass naked, you were just having sex.
And so, in that same moment, I look like right beside my bed, being a former baseball player, just for nostalgia, I had a baseball bat there. And I go, you got to make a decision. And I go, if you don't, who knows what's going to happen, but just, you got to do this. And I grabbed the baseball bat in one swing, probably as hard as I could, just smack him in the hand with the baseball bat. The gun flies out of his hand. I jump on it, take the magazine out, decock it, get the one out of the barrel, and then put the gun on him. And he's sitting there crying.
That's like Jason Bourne shit, dude.
I mean, I'm familiar with guns. Like, you grow up in North Carolina, you go hunting, this and that, growing up around a culturally diverse neighborhood. You were in some situations that, you know, your parents probably wouldn't want to hear about, and you see some guns sometimes.
Heard.
And so, yeah, I just did what I knew to do and tried to, you know, minimize the situation. So as soon as I have the gun and everything like that, he's on the floor just crying.
He took my gun.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
You took my gun and this and that. And now he's like, what's going on? Still saying, I think you poisoned me. And so I got to tell the girl that I'm with, like,
yeah, what's she doing? She freaking out? Or?
She's freaking out. She's got, like, the covers halfway pulled over her because she's butt-ass naked and this and that. And I was like, I got to take care of this and this and that. And so the only thing I could think to do is, like, I got to get him out of my house at this point.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, it's over. Like, you're not staying here anymore. Like,
oh, yeah, more than that, you should call the cops. You're like, listen, you've really broken the house rules. You should leave.
We're at my house, and there was still probably some coke around or something like that,
Sure.
so I didn't want any cops coming around.
Right.
But anyway, I'm trying to think of, like, how can I calm him down, tell him everything's going to be okay. Like, it's going to wear off in a couple hours, you know? So I do get him outside. I still have the gun. I think I told the girl to, like, hold the baseball bat just in case, like, something weird, like,
yeah,
just in
exactly.
case.
We're both holding stuff just in case.
And so get him outside. Thought I had him calm down. The acid must have started kicking in again. He starts jumping in bushes.
Oh, my gosh.
At this point, I think the only thing I can do, and Uber's kind of new in our area at this point, so I just called him an Uber. And I said, take him to the other side of town, let him figure it out from there, this and that. His hand is just, like, shattered to pieces. He's crying about that, his hand being shattered, like, bones broken, like,
oh my
terrible.
God. Okay, so, like, he needs to go to the hospital.
Like, he definitely needs to be at the hospital, this and that, but I was just trying to get him out of there.
Yeah, that's the first priority, get him out of that house.
So, like, actually, just, like, Uber shows up a few minutes later. I was like, hey, man, my buddy's, like, drunk as hell. Can you take him? Like, he lives over in this neighborhood. When you get over there, he should be able to tell you, like, where to drop him off. I was like, honestly, if you just drop him off around the corner, I don't give a shit. Just, like, get him out of here, man.
He won't find his way back.
Like, whatever. So, anyhow, obviously, or he does get home safe, and he has to work our shift in the morning. I was off the next morning. And so he arrives to work, maybe on time, who knows. But not long after arriving and, like, trying to open the restaurant, people are noticing, like, what's wrong with your hand? Why are you acting so strange? Like, probably still tripping, still drunk, everything. And, like, they pull him into the office, and he goes, I think I shot Dave last night. And my managers, and, you know, I'd been working there for a little while at that point, and they're like, what? It's like, I don't know. Like, we were partying, and things got out of hand. And I think I shot Dave last night. And me, like, I have the morning
I love
off.
that he's got this on his mind, but he doesn't say anything until he's pulled into the manager's office. Like, he's just trying to work, like, with this thought.
I mean.
What can I get you? Would you like a Caesar salad? I think I shot my friend and coworker.
I mean, I've taken way too much acid before.
Oh, same.
So, I mean, who knows what was going on. But
once I chased my friend Dave down the street barefoot, and it turned out it wasn't Dave when I caught up. It was the guy delivering newspapers at 4:30 in the morning. I was like, oh boy, you're not Dave. And I'm holding my shoes in my hand and my feet are bleeding. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
well, this restaurant and bar that I work at, like, we had a bunch of college kids that worked there and this and that. So it wasn't unusual for somebody to call out last minute, oh, I'm sick, whatever.
Oh, I'm still tripping and my hand's broken. That's a good reason.
Whatever the case may be, So my phone starts blowing up. My boss is calling over and over and over. I'm like, yo, after the night I just had, I'm not trying to go in and cover somebody's shift, whatever. Like, I need to chill. And so, after...
See if you're alive and you just don't want to go to work, so you're not answering the phone.
I'm not even like really thinking about that. And so finally, a text comes through from my boss, 30 minutes or so later, like, hey, we're not trying to get you to come in and cover a shift. Just please call us back and let us know if you're alive or whatever. I'm like, what the hell? And so when I do call, I call my boss back, like, immediately, like, you're not going to believe this, but T-Mac came in here telling this story about going over to your house, getting real fucked up, and he said he shot you. And I was like, funny you say that. He did not shoot me, but he did pull a gun on me. And they're like, what?
What is our staff doing?
And they're like, are you all right? I'm like, be honest, I don't know if I want to work with him, but whatever. And anyway, everything ended up being cool, worked its way out. I had to talk to some police later that day because a neighbor saw us outside, and they were like, I think I saw a gun. And they did.
Oh, my God, Dave. Those are some great cocked tales.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. We're going to have you back in the studio again because I know you got more of these. You're a maniac. Dude, thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Love the show. Keep listening. Rate, subscribe, and review.
Oh, Dave, look at you. I'm going to have to hire you as like my Andy Richter. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Greg.
Welp, it's last call, so let me give you a tip. If you pay in cash and your change is $3, don't leave me $2 and take the last dollar. What are you doing? I'm not being greedy, I swear. If it were me, what am I going to do with the $1? Exactly. Nothing. You don't need it. You just don't want me to have it. Eesh. Folks, it's been a blast. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And a call to my fellow booze slingers. Send in your stories to cocktailsandwastednights@gmail.com. You can remain anonymous if you'd like. Thanks for listening, subscribing, downloading, and spreading the word. Don't be afraid to give me a good review, even if you're lying. And check out my video. Just close it on YouTube. If you want to support the podcast, check it out on Patreon. I mean, there's nothing there. It's super basic. It's a placeholder, really. Yep. Pretty much just my tip jar. Anyway. We'll see you next time on Behind Bars, Cocktails, and Wasted Nights. Cheers! Give her a little muddle, but don't go crazy, because we've got some essences, well...